Hey everyone, it is October 9th, and movie number 9 is The Purge Anarchy. Uh, so that's movie number 9 for this 2016 horror movie marathon fest. Right, I think I got that in. So The Purge Anarchy. This is my first time seeing it, and I knew what to expect generally from the ads when it came out. I knew that this really opened things up compared to the original Purge. Um, of course, the original, basically a home invasion movie. It all takes place, 99.9% of it takes place in one house. Um, and this really opens things up. We see everything that's going on in the city. We've got a number of different main characters as opposed to just the family, which obviously more than one main character, but they're a family group. This is disparate characters. Uh, you have Leo, played by Frank Grillo, who now to me he's Crossbones from the Marvel Universe movies. But Frank Grillo does a great job. This could have been an audition for him to play the Punisher if John Barenthal hadn't gotten that role. I think Frank Grillo would have been great for it. But he does a great job. Plays a guy who's sort of on a mission this Purge night. We don't know what it is at the beginning of the movie, and I'm not going to give it away here for those few of you who haven't seen this yet. Excuse me. So we've got him. Then there's this married couple that are on their way home, and their car breaks down. So they get stuck out in the city. They don't make it home before the purge starts, so they're just trying to stay alive. And then you have this woman. She's just a waitress, and her daughter and her father, and they lock down inside their apartment building. But some stuff goes down, and they end up out on the streets. And these characters all come together and try to survive the night. Uh, it's a great cast. I already mentioned Frank Grillo, obviously. I'm not going to mention everybody, but a couple of names stand out. First of all, we have Edwin Hodge returns from the first movie. He's the homeless guy uh, that the younger Sandine kid saves in the first movie. He returns as basically the same character. He even has the same credit, Bloody Stranger. I'm looking on IMDb. Uh, One of my favorite actors, Michael Kenneth Williams, is in this. Um, and it's a smaller role, but I just love seeing that guy on screen and listening to him. But one of the surprises, Jack Connolly. That's not necessarily a name that's going to be familiar to people. And when he's first on screen, he's wearing a trucker hat, and it's really hard to see who the actor is. But as soon as I heard the voice, I knew that it was Jack Connolly. And I know him. He played Sajan on the show Angel. He was a demon, Sajan, and made up. So again, couldn't see him, but that voice is very distinctive to me. So it was kind of nice to see him show up here. He's playing a bad guy. So this is going to be a little spoilery, I suppose. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but one of the cool things about this movie, aside from just opening up where the action takes place all throughout the city, we get deeper into what happens during the purge and perhaps what excuse me, what the government and the new founding fathers have in mind for the purge. There's some hints of it in the original movie, but this really gets into it a little bit more. We see um, some rich people will pay for homeless people or sick, dying people to just come to their homes. They'll have the sick or dying people or the homeless people come to the rich person's home so that they can just kill them. And that's how some of the rich purge. They don't have to leave their homes out into the dangerous streets. They'll just, in this particular case, they say, well, give $100,000 to those you're leaving behind if we can kill you. So you've got that going on. There's this is a little more spoilery. A huge group of rich people that pay streetish people to kidnap people. Are you following along? These rich people pay other people to kidnap other people, bring them to this huge place, and the rich people hunt them down in sort of a secured location. So again, the rich people aren't exposed to the danger. And then the big thing is the government essentially, at one point a character says, enough citizens aren't participating in the purge, so the government actually sends huge semi-trucks out with small armies, and they target the places where the poor and the disenfranchised live, and take them out. So really opens up a lot, not just physically, but intellectually, story-wise, however you want to say it, however I want to say it. I guess I'm the one doing this. And so that's really interesting. The characters are really cool. I really like Frank Grillo's character, as I mentioned. And I like the arc that his character has. And we see, again, he has a mission, and he's there. There's a point. I'm getting a little more detailed than I usually do, but there's a point, he's driving, trying to get to where he's going, and he sees all this bad stuff going on, and he just tries to ignore it, keeps on driving, but he sees something he can't ignore, and he tries to talk. He's like, come on, just drive away, but he can't do it because he's not a bad guy. So that's basically how he ends up connected with these other characters. I don't think I'm giving too much away, but yeah. So his character's great. The mother and daughter, Callie and crap, I just watched it. Ava, that's it. It's Ava. Yes, they're great characters, especially Callie, the daughter. She's a really strong character. The married couple, they have their own problems between the two of them, but they're good characters as well. There's a lot of surprises in this movie. Things that happen, not really plot twists or anything, just some of the things that happen. And you see a bit more of how normal, or maybe I should say average people handle the purge. And we see, in the first movie we saw it was focused on this rich family, and we saw what they did to prepare for the purge. Now we're seeing street level preparations for the purge. So really, I love that they opened it up, that it's a completely different movie than the first one, and yet still is the obvious kin to the first one, I guess. Obviously connected, especially since you have at least one character that's in both. But yeah, so I liked it. I recommend it. And that was movie number 9 for this October in 2016. And as I mentioned in my last video, tomorrow, seems kind of obvious at this point, I'm going to be watching The Purge election night? Election year? Whatever the hell it's called. So until then, enjoy your October, and I'll see you tomorrow.